guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and keep watching.
Somebody lied to her several times and told her that she was fly, hot, and sexy and beautiful.
So, slightly different format. I'm sort of like experimenting with vlogging dash talking on the topic that I actually want to talk about. So it's just going to be different bits of things I've been doing this weekend and a topic that I really wanted to talk about for a while now. So I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so I don't know, I've got the lights on here. It's daytime. Guys, I am so sorry if there's a bit of an echo. My little mic is acting up, so I can't hook it up and plug it in and all that jazz. Apologies if the sound's traveling and bouncing and it's all echoey. I have this thing where like I start craving breakfast food at random times of the day, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make some breakfast food. It's something o'clock. I don't even know. I don't keep track of time these days, apart from either prayer times or when I actually have work. So yeah, my weekend has just been, it's been productive and chilled at the same time. So, you know, I'm kind of just ticking off tasks rather than panicking about, oh my gosh, I don't have so much time. Like, it's just long. But right now I'm hungry, which is why I'm like rambling on. So let's start cooking. I'm so sorry you guys have to listen to my voice like this, but yay, voiceover time. Green chilies chopped. Gonna mix that with some butter, and this is what I use to season my baked beans. I don't care if you don't season or do anything to your baked beans. That's your boring life, not mine. So I let that do its thing. Guys, if you see so many Tesco products, just know that I've not been a serious adult, because me, I'm a Lidl and Aldi babe. Those are my go-to supermarkets. But yeah, anyways, these beans look funny in the light. I'm not used to this. So I add that. My stove looks crusty. I mix that up. Onion granules, because I don't want to chop an actual onion and cry. My life is already a mess. Some peri salt. Let that simmer and let it do its thing. Now we're going to move on to the eggs. I'm going to melt some butter. I don't use oil for this. I just use butter. And I'm going to crack some eggs in the pan. Yes, I can do it with one hand because I'm a bad bee. I don't like runny yolk. So I stir that up and I season. Then I add some cheese at some point, because why not? I'm not lactose intolerant, so c'est la vie, baby. And yeah, just season some more with pepper. And at this point, I think I'm multitasking and trying to clean up where I can and failing miserably. So yeah, the beans should be done at this point. I'm going to plate up. Look at me trying to do a presentation. I just added more cheese because why not? I'm not lactose intolerant yet again. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So mental health, let's talk about it. So the first aspect I want to address is dealing with your mental health in the tech industry. I think I personally underestimated, and I think people in general do underestimate, how mentally demanding working in tech actually is. Like, yeah, there's great perks to working in the tech industry depending on your job and all that jazz, but it's a very mentally exhausting job to have. Like, as a software engineer, it is a very draining job mentally, because you're solving problems, you're working on solutions. There's a lot of thinking involved, which sounds really obvious, but you don't realize how much your brain is processing and how much information you're consuming. That, coupled with the fact that even outside of my 9 to 5, for me personally, because I've been in lockdown and I live alone and I work from home on my own, like, my form of communication relies on technology. Keeping up with my family, keeping up with friends, keeping up with the online community, keeping up with my colleagues. It's all happening virtually for me. So that is a lot of screen time, and it's a lot of time being glued to a device where you're consuming so much information in such short spaces of time. And that's very draining, and that's very mentally taxing. I feel like this pandemic has heightened that. Like, a lot of my downtime, if it's not reading physical books or looking after my plants, it requires me being on a screen, whether it's watching something on Netflix, whether it's reading something on my phone, an article, whatever. I consume a lot on my screens. So that has been very mentally demanding on me, and it did take quite a bit of a toll on me in the past few months, if I'm going to be honest. Like, I've tried to create a routine around it and manage it to the best of my ability, but it really is difficult. Working from home is great. I love it. If anything, I want this to be the new norm. It has its perks. It's efficient in many ways and it's great, but I find that it's very hard for me to switch off because I feel like I'm living at work, basically, because my home is where I work. It's where I relax. It's where I eat. It's where I sleep. It's all in one space. It's like there are times where I'm just at my desk and I'm on my screen just doing my work. And then I'm looking at the time and I'm like, whoa, it's like 6. Hold on a second. I didn't have lunch. I forgot. It's like, how do you even forget to eat? But that's the situation I'm going through because mentally I'm so like focused but drained and blanking out all at once that time just sort of escapes me. And then I realized that I'm not nourishing myself very well. And that was happening to me for quite a while, and I had to like nip that in the bud. It has meant that my mental health has fluctuated quite a lot. Like, sometimes I feel very anxious because of all the uncertainty surrounding the environment and situation we're in right now. You know, like, there really is a lot of uncertainty. And I think some people don't really understand that this pandemic has shifted a lot of things in this world. And it sounds like I'm being dramatic, but I generally have felt a shift. The way we process a lot of things, the way we're starting to view things, the things that we're starting to consider, and, you know, this quote unquote extra time that we seem to have for various reasons, that is messing up with our mental health. It is causing it to fluctuate. And, you know, yeah, I'm grateful that I have a 9 to 5, but I also understand that, you know, that I'm going through a period of so much uncertainty, and I just need to be a bit kinder to myself. And I hear that phrase so much, but I genuinely need to like start being kind to myself and being nicer to the little voice in my head that's always overthinking and running at 100 miles per hour and telling me to, you know, stay in panic mode, stay in survival mode. You have to, you know, it's a lot. In terms of dealing with my mental health in a pandemic, it's literally one big roller coaster, guys. Like, it's long because I feel like there are days where things are going smoothly. I've got my little whiteboard. If you guys follow me on Instagram, then you guys will know about my morning routine and my evening routine. But my morning routine, I have main things that I need to make sure I do. That's something that I've really been honing in on, like, just make sure you get the small tasks done. So even if you might not have had the most productive day, at least you know you've taken your vitamins, at least you know you're on top of your medication, at least you know you've gone for a walk and you've gotten some fresh air. And if you haven't gone for a walk, at least you've opened the windows to let in fresh air. You know, like, that's how my brain works. I need routine and I need structure, and that's probably the best thing I could do for myself, given the situation we're in, where there's just, we don't know what the hell's really going on. You know, everyone's saying this and that, but all I know is that there's a virus going around, it's contagious, it's harmful, we don't even have a vaccine for it. We're still discovering some of the side effects, even for those that have recovered from it. It's all of a bit of a mess, you know? So that, knowing that comes with a lot of anxious feelings and feeling overwhelmed and not knowing where things are going to go. And I've just had to learn to deal with that and accept it. Another thing I like to do, which is really weird, I don't know if it's weird, to me it's not weird, but I like to schedule crying sessions, like literally block out a portion of time where I just bawl my eyes out. And what I normally do is I like to create the scene. It sounds funny the way I say it, but basically my emotional release is watching This Is Us. If you haven't watched it, start watching it. And for me, it's like, that's how I create my setting to release my emotions through my tears. I just feel like when I release everything that's been building up emotionally in my tears, it feels good and my skin tends to feel great and look great. And also when I cry a lot for a long time, it gives me a headache and then it makes me sleepy. So my naps tend to really hit nice. So I like to schedule crying sessions. That's helped me quite a lot. It makes it sound like I'm very like depressed and stuff, but I'm actually not. I'm fine. It's just I like to set time aside where I know like I'm giving myself this freedom and space to just let it all out. I don't have to say anything, just cry. Enjoy the TV episode and cry and bawl your eyes out. And it feels great. And I scheduled that. In fact, I'm due one later on this week. So that's one way I've dealt with it. Another way is my plants. Guys, I have loads of plants and I feel like my plants are a reflection of my mental health and the status of my health in general. When my plants look sad, then I know like it's reflecting something that I might be going through or what my mind feels like. I like being around nature in general, so having my own space where I can create that foresty vibe, it feels great. I love it. I just try to find things that genuinely make me feel happy and feel like I'm doing something with purpose, because that keeps me grounded. And I like to incorporate my faith into my routine. Like I feel like that frames my routine. So like in the morning, I know like I'm awake when there's Quran playing in the house. So that's my cue to start moving, start, preparing myself. I try to set my intentions for the day. And it's just those little habits that I pick up that then just become part of my routine. I don't try to force it with too much fancy stuff and, it has to be glitter and roses and candles all the time. Like, no, sometimes it just needs to be clear cut, precise and practical. And that just does the job sometimes for me. And my best way of doing that is I have my whiteboard. I jot down the main things I want for the day. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And then I have like 2 post-it notes. What a good week looks like will be on 1 post-it notes. And I have a list of things that I feel will make me feel like I've had a good week. And then I've got another post-it note where I just write down things that are worrying me or making me anxious or I'm scared about or whatever. And I just jot that down. And then I look at that and I'm thinking, okay, what can I do to resolve that if that's possible? Okay, so my phone died, so I kind of got cut off. But basically what I was trying to say is that when it comes to things that I'm nervous about or I'm anxious about, I jot them down and then I try to find like a practical solution to it. Like, do I need to pray? Do I need to make dua? Do I need to go for a walk and clear my head out? Do I just need to check on my physical health? Because sometimes I feel drained and that makes me anxious and sluggish. And that's normally because I haven't taken my iron pills or whatever it is, So I try to have it on paper so I can see this is what's making me anxious. This is what's triggering that voice in my head to make me feel like, oh, I need to overthink and panic. And I put that on paper and that's what I use to start thinking in a more solutions-based way. Like I try to have a problem-solving approach so that I'm not stuck in my head all the time. It's on paper, it's in front of me. I want to fix it. So that's sort of how my mind works. So that's it from me today. I tried to add like different bits that I was doing throughout the weekend, but my iPhone storage has just been acting up, so I couldn't squeeze in some of that footage. So hopefully in the future, when I get proper equipment, inshallah, I can do this vlogging thing properly. But just to sum up, this weekend I kind of just focused on looking after my plants. I repotted some of them, cleaned the leaves of them. I did some rearranging in my house. And then today I just did a spot of shopping, made some brunch, took it easy, did some work, featured on a podcast. And I've got my little whiteboard opposite me. And that's just gonna help me like plan my Monday and set my intentions for the week. And that's pretty much it. This is like a nice quiet Sunday evening. I hope you guys found this video useful. I kind of wanted to just switch up the format because I'm always filming in a specific format, and I just wanted to play around and experiment. And yeah, I hope you guys found the topic interesting. I think mental health is something that, you know, affects all of us, and we all deal with it in different ways. And this is just an insight into how I view mental health and how I deal with my own mental health and how it fluctuates and how I manage all of that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As you can see, I'm trying to make my content as accessible as I possibly can because I want it to be a standard and not an afterthought. So if you would like to support me in paying my translators, I've got a link to a Buy Me a Coffee platform where you can donate what you can and support. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.